Warning: Channel Robozoid contains adult language, adult content, strong opinions, and verbal brutality. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, it is I, the Robozoid, your semi-likable and occasionally tolerable curmudgeon of both the Rumble and YouTube airwaves, and I'm coming at you with this video here, in which apparently liberals are now demanding a so-called autopsy on what happened with the 2024 election. Yes, they're actually going to autopsy a failed election on behalf of Kamala Harris. Why? All because she lost fair and square, and, well, quite frankly, that's not good enough for the Democrats. That's not good enough for the liberal pansies that think she should have won the election, when truthfully, she really wasn't anything at all but a bunch of word salad and pretty much a laughing hyena and also an empty pantsuit. That's pretty much all she ever was. But somehow you've got a bunch of these liberal jackholes that are actually trying to autopsy the 2024 election. So without further ado, what do you say we get right into that? Because it's unbelievably stupid, incredibly insipid, and not to mention trying to analyze this, what went wrong with Kamala Harris's campaign. That's sort of like tossing off with a cheese grater. Interesting, but extremely painful.
2024 autopsy, which you call an after-action review. When you won the chairmanship in February of 25, you criticized the DNC's refusal to release their 2016 autopsy as exactly what not to do. You said, quote, "Was there any utility in doing that?" And then promised your 2024 autopsy would be different. Your exact quote was, "Of course it will be released." Why did you change your mind on that?
Well, look, I mean, what I said all along, even when I ran for this position, is that we were going to focus
look
on
as a word people on the defensive use.
Upcoming election, right? Making sure that we learn the right lessons that could help inform our victories. And that's what we've done. We said this when we sent out the press release back in November saying we weren't going to release the report.
Trust is built by keeping your word, by when you make a promise, you keep it. And if you can't, for whatever reason, you got to be able to articulate why in a way that brings people in and shows transparency. What Ken does in this interview, and he's not going to like that I'm saying this, or he doesn't, is he undermines trust in this institution. It actually does an incredible disservice to our long-term health as a party. The correct answer in this interview was, you know what, John, you're right and I was wrong. We're releasing that autopsy report today.
Well, you're wrong, lady.
For people to trust that the DNC will keep its word. It's on our website right now. He just released it 6 months ago, or after the election. It would have been a 2-week.
Say, honey pie, if you think the DNC is ever going to keep their word, then the joke is on you.
Bad news story, and people would have moved on.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
No. The left are all blaming this guy here by the name of Ken Martin, who supposedly is the head of the DNC chair. He's basically the DNC chairman, and everyone's blaming him for why Kamala Harris lost. The truth is, I wouldn't blame this guy at all, even if he is a sleazebag who took over for the little David Hoggy boy when he was ousted. The truth is, if anyone you should blame for Kamala Harris's defeat is Kamala Harris herself. She was defeated because she had no strategy, she offered nothing but word salad, no solutions, and of course, let's face it, that nervous hyena laughter of hers, you know, all that was the cause of her defeat. I mean, it was all on her, and plus she was selected, not elected. Nobody wanted her to be the next front runner after they pretty much tossed out the old corpse. So that's what happened, and that's why she lost, because she was not electable. The Democrats were just trying to look for a fast and easy way to beat Trump, and they failed to do so. So don't put the blame on this guy, Ken Martin. Put the blame solely on the one who really messed up, and that, of course, would be Kamala herself.
2024 election autopsy, but someone apparently leaked it to Axios. And it concluded that Kamala Harris lost significant support because of Biden's Gaza policy. Do you think that's why they're keeping it secret?
Yes, 100%. And we're taping this on the day the DNC just voted to reject a motion calling for the condemnation of AIPAC. which is very unpopular in the Democratic Party. The DNC said, no. The DNC is, of course, the establishment, the Democratic National Committee of the party. It's very strange to do a post-mortem on why you lost and then not tell people why you lost. What was the point of doing it? Because you got results you didn't like? We knew, those of us who said Gaza would be an issue in the election, unfortunately, we were frustratingly vindicated. Those of us who tried to sound the alarm bell and say, Democrats, people are not going to turn out in swing states. People in places like Michigan, some of them might even vote for Trump. They're going to buy his bullshit about being anti-war. How did that work out? And we were shot down. Oh, you're letting Trump in. You're not being clear. No, we're just telling you what people are thinking. People are upset. And there was a denial.
The reason that Ken Martin and the DNC and the donors decided that they need to scrap the autopsy and not release it to the public, despite their pledges to release it to the public, is explicitly because...
Great, another glasses-wearing soy boy.
100%.
Ken Martin becomes the chair of the Democratic Party. He says, I promise I will release the report. We made a mistake when we didn't do it in 2016. Then he finds out...
And he didn't do it, did he?
He buries the report. Ken Martin, you're a coward, man. I don't know what to say.
100%. It is insane because when the DNC, Ken Martin, and Democratic donors decided to keep the election autopsy secret, I think that they made a bet that everything would just eventually blow over with Israel and Gaza. It's so annoying to watch Democrats pretend to be populist when it fits their agenda by being like weirdly conservative on social issues and ignore, disrespect, and just literally condescend voters when they dare to believe in something contrary to what the establishment already likes.
Yeah, they love citing polling data when it allows them to abandon trans people or be conservatives on immigration. But when it says, like, hey, maybe you should support Medicare for all or, like, not give infinite money to Israel, suddenly then it's like, oh, well, we have to be nuanced about this position.
Suddenly you guys don't understand what's going on. Actually, I have intelligence I can't share with you. Actually, I have things that are going on that I can't share with anybody who, like, put me in this position. But you guys should trust me.
It was the word salad, okay? That's what cost Kamala the election. So quite honestly, there's no need for an autopsy on the 2024 election. Haven't I mentioned already that this woman lost everything she tried to do? I mean, everything she tried to run for, she ended up losing. I mean, she lost the 2020 primaries. She didn't even get out of the starting gate, really. She actually ended up losing to Tulsi Gabbard, who has pretty much quit the DNC since then. And let's see, she lost in 2024, again, because she had no strategy. She had nothing to offer. She was nothing but word salad and nervous cackling. That's all she was. So now you're going to have this propagandist on some liberal podcast show, which I guess is called Pod Save America, because they don't believe in God anyway. And yeah, no wonder Dana Lash calls it Podcastistan. So let's listen in and hear it for ourselves exactly what went wrong here and why these people are so pissed off at Marvin, at Mr. Martin, for not living up to his promises.
24 Autopsy, which you call an after-action review. When you won the chairmanship in February of 25, you criticized the DNC's refusal to release their 2016 autopsy as exactly what not to do. You said, quote, was there any utility in doing that? And then promised your 2024 autopsy would be different. Your exact quote was, of course it will be released.
It was me.
Why did you change your mind on that?
Well, look, I mean, what I said all along, even when I ran for this position, is that we were going to focus on the things that will help us win the upcoming election, right? Making sure that we...
Let me just say this about that, okay? When somebody starts off their explanation with the word look, that means that person is clearly on the defensive and clearly knows that he's going to lose the argument, but he keeps on pressing.
We learn the right lessons that could help inform our victories, and that's what we've done. We said this when we sent out the press release back in November, saying we weren't going to release the report. We were going to actually keep our focus on those lessons, and we released those lessons. We continue to do that. So it's not completely accurate to say that we didn't release that. Where we're keeping our focus is on the lessons that can actually help us win.
On this show, in August, you told me this about releasing the review, quote, we have to do it to give people who invested so much time, energy, and money a sense of what happened and why we lost. Especially why we lost. So what changed between August and December? I understand there are lessons, but those are not the full report. Why not release the full report? What's in the report that you wouldn't want to publicize?
Yeah, there's no smoking gun in the report, and I know that's what everyone's so eager to learn. The smoking gun. Guess what, John?
But if there's no smoking gun, why wouldn't you just release it then?
Because we want to keep the focus on the lessons. Because what ends up happening here is that people, of course, want to weaponize the report in a way to look backwards, to point fingers, place blame in a way that actually doesn't keep us focused on the upcoming election.
Yeah. Sure. You're just basically trying to deflect the blame away from yourself. I mean, obviously, like I said, I don't think this guy should be totally 100% to blame for the whole thing. Really, the only one to blame for her own defeat is Kamala herself. Because, again, she didn't have a strategy. She pretty much fell back on the nervous cackling when she didn't have a solid answer, and the word salad that, of course, she is infamous for. So these guys, whatever they're talking about and blaming the DNC chair, good luck with that one, because while he does deserve part of the blame, really the truth of the matter is the blame, honest to God, 100% goes to Kamala Harris herself. This has been the Robazoid saying, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, well, you guys know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel. Above all else, remember that wokeness is weakness, and also, I hope you enjoyed Friday Funnies earlier this morning, and be here or be absolutely nowhere else.